start the meeting, so I think he
Live
is.
streaming is on.
Live
Okay.
streaming is on. Sure, you guys got that too.
Yes, so we're good. We're streaming.
I think he is verifying that it's on
Okay.
YouTube right now.
Okay.
And then once he gives me the A-OK,
We'll go for it.
yes, ma'am. And
Okay.
I just got a notification. So I think we are good, Ms. Chairwoman, if you would like to go ahead.
All right. Would you please call the roll for us?
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Anderson? Mr. Buck?
Here.
Mr. Carter? Let me see if I can unmute you, Randy. Can you unmute yourself, Randy, or send us a thing in the chat? Mr. Grant is not here. Miss Kennedy?
Here.
Mr. Norton? Miss Pace?
Here.
Miss Pratt? Miss Stubblefield?
Here.
Okay, just waiting on confirmation from Randy that he can hear us and he can unmute himself.
Okay.
Or maybe he can drop something in the chat. There should be a bar that pops up, Randy. I don't know if you can hear us or not. I don't think I can unmute you myself.
Uh-oh, now it's really. Oh. I gotta go put that in garbage.
He's saying that he has mic issues. He just sent me an email. So
Ooh.
Is he able to, can he communicate? He can communicate with us by email?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, so he can hear us. We just can't hear him.
Right.
Okay, all right.
So, Randy, if you just want to send me an email for your votes, and we'll just count them that way for right now. Or if there's a chat, if you can use the chat box within Jitsi, that would be fine too.
Okay, so we do have a quorum,
Yes, ma'am.
and so we will begin the meeting. We are governed by the Freedom of Information Act, so anybody in the audience that wishes a copy of the minutes or the proceedings can have them from City Hall. Okay, we need to approve the minutes from April the 3rd, April the 12th, and May the 3rd. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve all of them at once.
Okay, do we have a second?
I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. All right. We don't have any personal appearances, I don't think. So citizens' comments, I don't know of any. The citizens can email, is that correct? Can they
Yes,
email
ma'am.
in?
We have not received any.
Okay, nothing there from the citizens. Okay. We do not have any unfinished business that I'm aware of. Anybody remember any unfinished business? Okay, we're going to move to the first thing on the agenda, which is the approval of the final plat of the subdivision of lots 7, 8, and 9. Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Motion to approve. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. All right. We have a motion and a second. Any comments that anybody wishes to make? Nobody has any comments?
I don't.
Okay, I think we've kind of gone over this good bit of time. And we all know where it is. It's going right into shadow race in there. So we have a motion and a second. Will you call the roll on the vote, please?
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Buck,
Yes.
Mr. Carter, you can email me your vote, please. Ms. Kennedy,
Yes?
Ms. Pace,
Yes.
Ms. Stubblefield.
Yes.
Also, hi, Kate. I see you just joined us. We are voting on the final plat subdivision. If you care to vote.
Yes.
Couldn't Randy just type in the chat box?
I think he's having difficulties. He's on an iPad. He did just email me that he was in favor, though. So
Okay. So we have a majority to approve, correct?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the motion passes. From our standpoint, we've given the plat approval. Okay, the next is approval of the recommendations going to council on the comprehensive plan. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on this? It's quite a lengthy document. If you've been through it, it's quite a lengthy document, but they have highlighted everything that's been changed. I hope everybody's had an opportunity to look it over. Are there any questions that you have?
No. Katie, is everything on here that we talked about with Aaron before you came on? Because we had done a few elements. Okay.
Yeah, so all of those are within the first section. So the only elements that I did, I think were housing, economic, that whole resilience element, and then maybe one more. Everything else was just copy and pasted from what Aaron had.
Okay.
I do have one point just to bring you guys attention to is pertaining to the OCRM baseline language. I think in my wording, I was a little bit too specific, and I want to open it back up just to give a little bit more flexibility for council in studying the baseline and really looking at all of the erosion factors. Currently, the wording states to work with OCRM to move the baseline to reflect the conditions for like the east side of the beach. And I think making it a little bit agency specific as well as to just like the east side, that we could encompass all of highly erosional areas and associated issues. So it's a little bit broader and gives a little bit more flexibility to really have an overarching stance for the erosion issues that we see on that side. So, you know, it could potentially have Army Corps with their PEL, as well as OCRM with the baseline. And so studying how all of that works together. So I would ask Planning Commission if they're okay for me to amend that statement. It is in one of the elements. Give me a second.
I think it's a natural resource.
It's in natural resources. Yep. And it is goal 5. And it's in red. So I would broaden that to say study the baseline in highly erosional areas and associated issues. I can spruce it up a little bit more if you'd like. But if Planning Commission is okay to make that adjustment with still approving to go to council, that is what staff is asking.
I think that's a great idea.
Very good idea to do that. So we need a motion to amend, don't we?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can we have a motion to amend to include that wording?
Motion to amend as staff
Okay.
recommends.
All right. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. So we have to vote on that one first. And let's vote on the amendment first. Can you call the roll for us, please, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Buck,
Yes.
Mr. Carter via email, Miss Kennedy,
Yes.
Miss Pace,
Yes.
Miss Pratt,
Yes.
and Miss Stubblefield.
Yes.
And
Motion,
Randy's a yes as well.
the amendment passes. So now to the full document. Do we have a motion to approve?
Is the
We
first
had one
motion?
open. Yeah, we had one open. I think either Laura or Paula
Oh,
was
that's
first,
right.
and then Ryan was second.
You are right. So with the amendment that we just approved, how about call the roll on this and we'll vote on this. Are there any other questions that anybody has?
I did. I had a question on transportation. We had talked about possibly doing a study or working with DOT on a study for putting in a left turn light at Sol Agree when you're leaving the island, and I couldn't find it in transportation, which is where I think it would definitely be.
It is in.
It is in there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to be in the needs and goals. It's not going to be in the narrative.
Okay.
I do remember seeing that, and that is something that Aaron already had typed up.
Oh.
Okay.
And then the only other thing that we had talked about was whether or not to add language to the 5-year plan update to focus on recruiting and retaining full-time residents. Has that been added anywhere, Katie?
Say that one more time.
We had talked about the fact that in the plan, the 5-year update plan, I don't remember there being a strong focus on the desire for the city as a goal to recruit and retain full-time residents as opposed to vacation rentals.
Retain full-time residents and increase the population.
Correct, to increase the population of full-time residents as opposed to focusing on this being more of a vacation community.
Give me 1 second. Let me look through it to see if I have that wording in our needs and goals.
I think there was something in there about marketing to attract permanent residents, and it had to do with marketing dollars, I believe.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's with economic. Development there. Bear with me. Okay, so the goal for community character, number 2, it says make Folly Beach an attractive year-round destination for residents, locals, and visitors, and talks about FAB to attract residents and having, the more businesses and diverse businesses that you have. That's something that we touch in our short-term rental committee too, Laura. See what other wording. Marketing program for tourists, but there is no similar program to attract future residences or businesses. And so then it talks about TVCP to have marketing to get new residents and businesses at Folly, like full time. Same thing with public service for tax funds. Is there anything else that you would want added, Laura?
No, I just think that the sense is, if you're looking at the numbers, that our number of full-time residents has gone down rather dramatically in the last decade. So if we're looking at this next 5 years and looking at controlling short-term rentals, maybe the other side to that coin is, if we're going to be limiting short-term rentals, then to do something to attract full-time residents.
Right. So I think that wording is pretty strong right now in our planning commission, like long-term comp plan. And I think coupled with the short-term rental committee, maybe this will bring some action to council. So I think the groundwork is laid there, and now we're just getting the perfect conditions to see it happen.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Any other comments or any questions that anybody wishes answered before we vote? Okay, please call the roll, please, ma'am.
Yep. Mr. Buck,
Yes.
Mr. Carter via email, Ms. Kennedy,
Yes.
Ms. Pace,
Yes.
Ms. Pratt,
Yes.
Ms. Stubblefield.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes.
Okay, we have any comments from staff?
None at this time.
Okay, any comments from the committee members? Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Where's Kirk Grant?
I know he's in Mexico right now.
Okay, we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion
Yes,
to adjourn.
Paula.
Okay, all right. Okay, we're off record. And
Yep, I think we should be ending streaming soon per IT. I'm not sure how to end it. Oh, let me see.